Brodes Media.
I'm thinking the same thing you are. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to shut this dirty little mouth of mine because it gets me in trouble. I'm going to zip it, and I'm going to wait for the next two games to play out before I potentially tell you my stance. I was actually pondering throughout the evening, wondering if I would wait until the 7 games are complete in South Philly. And maybe I still do. It's a day-by-day case. I'm going to see how I feel in the moment. And maybe after Houston, we'll get an update. Maybe not, though. Forget it. Shut up, Brodes. Stop talking about it and get into the actual action. Okay? Relax. I will. Terrific start to the homestand. BRYCE HARPER versus Josh Hader, with the game on the line. Ew. Bryce attacks early. Not playing around. And I think he was doing it for Joel. Because Joel's battery on his phone had to be, 3% with all the moments he was trying to capture? All right, we don't have a long 10th in us. I think I heard him beat and the mic picked it up. Guy was just trying to get something for his Instagram story. I don't know. But Bryce did a lot in this effort. He played magnificent defense late over at first base with flash in the leather. And he also had the double that helped tie the game up 2-2. Working his ass off to get to second base. He wasn't the only one to stand out. What I really liked about this win was how team-oriented it was. Wheeler gives you the 6 strong, and then your bullpen, all 4 names, electric. Kerkering, solid stuff. Hoffman, Estevez, and Madstrom, with the help of Rojas, too, out in center field. And I can't pretend like Brandon Marsh's opposite field danger didn't help out huge. It wasn't all pretty. He did fail in the 6th. Bohm failed in the 7th, looking at an at-bat that was a hell of a battle. JT grounded out into a double play in the 4th. And don't even get me started with some of the sloppiness Houston had, and the Phillies didn't counter with any sort of punch. Bryson Stott should have been picked off when he was on the bases. Instead, the ball's flying all over the place. He gets extra bags. And there was also the Pena error on Trey Turner's double play ball, which helped keep an inning alive. These are chances you gotta go. These are chances, especially with Zach Wheeler on the mound. Your ace, your stud. Someone who, if he's able to work with the commanding lead, and you could tell that the Astros are feeling sorry for themselves because they just pissed all over their legs when they were trying to make standard plays. And you got to try to hit Wheeler? Yeah, okay. Even if he's walking a few, which is uncharacteristic for Wheels, it's still extremely difficult. So if the Phillies could have punched first and hard with how the Astros were playing, I would have loved it. But I'll give them a ton of credit because being down 2-0, they just chipped away. The opposite field homer. How many times have we seen this team go down and then there's no fight afterwards? For a while now, it gets dead. We say the same couple of phrases almost every night. Lifeless, no pulse, no urgency. That wasn't the case here. They put their head down, they went to work, and they kept going. And when they needed it most, their superstar delivered. I just can't believe Kyle made it. I thought that dude was looking for an inhaler after he got across home plate. Looking at the dugout, trying to make sure someone could toss him something to save his life. Kyle, running. Not always comfortable. Get the dub, though. Get the dub. Name of the game. Taiwan. We got an update on that. Do I even? Nah, you know what? No. Now's not the time. Now's not the time. What we need to do is continue sharing the love for the really solid win that we just saw happen. And I think it truly can set a tone for, at least before we get to Atlanta and whatever happens when they come and visit, let's just strictly talk about these 3 games. Winning a start with Zach Wheeler in the fashion that you did, let's flip the script for half a second just so you can put it in perspective. What if you lost your stud's start? And your only offense the whole time was a Brandon Marsh solo shot the other way, and you go down 2-1. That would be so disappointing. That would be so upsetting. So now the morale is at a higher high. You're winning 2 games against Kansas City with an explosive offense right before this thing kicked off. And now you keep the feel-good mojo grooving. And you're supposed to win these games with Wheels. And if you don't, that's almost a smack in the face. And it puts a lot of pressure on others in your rotation. And I'm cool with demanding a lot from Aaron Nola. I'm all right if you want to put a ton of expectations, even in Ranger, following his one and only start since returning back from his little stint. And with Christopher Sanchez, I'm all good with it. I'm not trying to make it seem like Zach Wheeler is the one that gets the extreme level of emphasis and then others can go however they please throughout their little journey because Wheeler's got it. No, I need Nola too. I need Ranger too. I need Sanchez too. But you're supposed to be the bleeding stopper. You're supposed to be the one where if things are getting really tough, when he's on the mound, he settles everyone down. And that's what we got. So I just want to highlight the importance of that when you're looking at a 3-game set that you have to win. You have to win this series. It's a must. There is little time. It's going to be September before you know it. So forget about all that nonsense now of there's a lot of games left. I've realized that the trigger went off in my mind that that's no longer an excuse. That's no longer a real description of what the season is. This is time to get ready for the playoffs. This is time to turn up the heat. And if you can't handle it now, then I question if you're going to be able to handle it when the heat is even rising 5 times this much, even with your damn track record. All right? I'm sick of the last 60-something games. You guys have a special lineup. You can really kill teams on a night-to-night basis. And it's time to get back to that. All right, let's take some anytime hotline calls. Let's hear from the people.
Yo, bro, boy Nolan. Hey, I love it. 3 wins in a row against some, really good teams. Bryce needed that, man. Bryce needed that one so bad. I'm glad, he was able to come through. Tough pitch and matchup tonight, but Phillies pulled it out, man. Good. I'm just happy. I want to keep it going. I'm not getting too excited. I'm just happy at us pulling this one out and winning this game. Strahm was huge. Jeff Hoffman was huge. Even Wills, man, he did what he needed to do. So good win for the Phils.
This team needs Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper has won a few NL Player of the Weeks, or excuse me, was it Player of the Months? Excuse me. So he has a few accolades this year. I just haven't felt, regardless of what the box score says, because I remember we actually looked this up. A few of those months when he won NL Player of the Month, those numbers are like, whoa, that's extreme. He won it for a reason. So they're very loud and they make a big stance, truly. But I'm talking about the night-to-night feel again. And no time this year have I been given that holy shit, Bryce Harper is a fucking Martian. Can we get a September that is so absurd It doesn't even make sense out of Bryce. I want one of those months.